In South Africa, you will have to wear face masks from May the 1st when the coronavirus lockdown restrictions will begin to be eased. Traditional Affairs Minister Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma announced on Saturday that it is going to be compulsory to use a cloth mask as you step out of your home. President Cyril Ramaphosa announced Thursday that coronavirus restrictions would be progressively eased from May 1st as the country comes out of a lockdown imposed on March 27th to combat the pandemic.
So it's important then to remember that the lockdown will continue even under level 4, but it will be easier because those who will be going to work, there'll be more going to work than in level 5. But because we still have the lockdown, there will even be a curfew. The curfew means when you come back from work, you stay at home. It doesn't mean that now that some may be working after work, they can go everywhere. You come back home. And we will explain, when you go to work, the sanitizers must be there at home or washing of hands with soap all the time. When you go to work, you must sanitize. When you enter transport, sanitization is important. But when you leave your house, you must have a cloth mask. It's mandatory. It's going to be mandatory to use a cloth mask as you step out of your home, going anywhere. Now we know that these masks may not be easily available for now, but if you don't have a mask, you can use a scarf to cover your nose and mouth. You can use your t-shirt. On the health website, they also tell you how to make your own mask at home. So you'll have to have your nose and mouth covered in public. Thing that we must understand. So nobody should say, no, I couldn't get a mask. The surgical mask and the N95 and all those masks will leave for the health workers who are in the front line, and maybe people who deal with mortuaries who are also in the front line. But for all of us, a cloth mask. Homemade, bought. If you don't have, you put whatever you have. My scarf here can be a mask. So nobody should have an excuse. And I had a cloth mask, it's only because SAPC said they couldn't hear me properly, so I had to take it off. But anything that covers you, protects the others. When you cough or talk, you are protecting the others, but you're also protecting yourself from their droplets. So let's do that as we go to work. Social distancing is critical. At home, outside, at work, even those companies that are going to open, they must observe all these health imperatives. If they don't, then they shouldn't open. And that's why it was said before they open, they must send a team, a small team, that's going to go there and make preparations for all this. And it's critical because industry must stick to the guidelines. Because if you take shortcuts and maybe trying to save money, you may lose more money when that company or that factory has to close because there are people who are infected. They must be screened for temperature, for cough, for any symptoms. flu-like symptoms, the symptoms that we know are related to coronavirus. And if any of the worker has those symptoms, they can't work, but they must be tested.